Hello everyone, my name is Praneeth. I've got 7+ years of experience into cybersecurity, and it's been a long time that I've released a new podcast. But I was busy with my personal work, and of course, the office work is always there. So, here I am back with another episode, one of the significant topics or domains of cybersecurity. Uh, so, the topic or theme of this episode is data loss prevention or insider risk protection or data protection as well. So today I have Kalyani, who has got decade of experience in cybersecurity and specifically data loss prevention. So over to you, Kalyani. How are you?
Hey Praneeth, thanks for having me here. I'm good, doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for accepting the invitation and being here for the podcast,
My
Kalyani.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, so we'll start with your introduction, Kalyani.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please introduce yourself and your educational background?
Yes, definitely. So, as you told, this is Kalyani
Yeah.
having an experience of 10 plus years into data protection, data loss prevention, insider risk, and DSPM for AI. So, this is a journey where we started from a nutshell and we are going towards the different spaces into insider risk strategies.
Okay, can you also tell us about your educational background a bit?
Sure. So I am actually based out of Hyderabad. So I did my schooling, intermediate, degree, and MSc all from Hyderabad. So I did my schooling from CMR, which is in Boinpalli. Then for my intermediate, I studied in St. Francis, which is in Secunderabad. For BSc Computers, again I joined St. Francis, which is in Begumpet. I did my BSc Computers there. After that, I went to my masters, which is again in computer science. So I did my MSc Computer Science in Bhavans Vivekananda College, which is at Saidipuri.
So you are a Pakka Hyderabadi then?
Yeah, complete
Alright.
Hyderabad.
So what year was that you graduated and then you entered into this profession?
So it was in the same year. I got graduated from my masters in computers in 2015, and the immediate year I joined a organization where initially I kick-started my career journey towards the data protection and insider risk.
Okay, nice knowing you, Kalyani. Can you also tell us a bit about your hobbies and interests?
My hobbies, I'm pretty simple. Nothing kind of a special dedicated time for a hobby search, but I like to be part of any sports, where I involve myself and play. So be it be cricket, be it be badminton, be it be just running or walking. I just want some physical activity to be done, so I am into that. Apart from that, I like listening to music, but I don't sing or hum. I respect the other singers, so especially Praneeth also, who sings great. So
No, I sing only a bit.
no, you sing very great, Praneeth. So that's it. So not kind of a where I have expertise there, but simple things where I keep myself indulged.
Okay. So, how did you get into this field of cybersecurity, Kalyani? Did you do any other work or any other jobs before entering to this field? Is this your first job directly entering into cybersecurity? How did it happen?
So this was my first journey when I stepped in. I did not do any other jobs before getting into cyber, but this was not kind of a cyber area when we started. When we initially started, it was an IT job where we started as a small team of monitoring things which left the organization. So cyber team was something kind of a rapid emergency team which was there in another way. But ours was specifically focused into kind of things where people try to send information elsewhere. Be it be their regular information or be it be companies' data, they used to send it to for others' destinations for communication.
Okay.
So we, for the point of the company point of view, we were there in as a middleman, trying to understand if people inside the organization are trying to steal data or take data outside without an authorization.
Okay.
So it started with that. So later, as the trend evolved, we saw more content of malicious activity, users actually trying to exfiltrate things. Then the program also evolved eventually. So we understood patterns where not just the regular activity, but people used to take company data, take it for their benefit, or give it to other competitors, sell. They do a lot of stuff. So it was unintentional and intentional both the time. So that's when We, from the protection point of view, also evolved in multiple ways and directions and had an overall program strategy for this particular data protection and data loss prevention.
Okay, so I see you talking about data, Kalyani. So what is it about the data that you're trying to protect? How is it significant for an organization? What kind of data are you talking about?
So, typically, data is something which organizations or anybody rely on, right? So, for an organization, data is everywhere. It is on the systems, it is on the servers, it is on their devices, and with the people also, and on laptops and any other devices. The data is spread everywhere in the organization. So sometimes people, take advantage that this data belongs to them, that data belongs to them. So basically, data are categorized into different things.
Okay.
It could be sensitive data, it could be personal data, it could be very critical data called as crown jewel data for the organization. It is not belonging to the employee or a user, right? It is company's data.
Correct.
And that's when we come in place to protect that particular kind of sensitive data. And the data is also classified in multiple stages. So it could be confidential, restricted, unauthorized. So these kind of data are crucial for an organization to be protected.
Okay, so which means that you're trying to protect the intellectual property
Yes.
of an organization,
Correct.
which is what the bread and butter of an organization.
True.
Alright, so I think with this, the audience might get some context as to what DLP is about, or the
Right.
data loss prevention is about. So I would like to, even before we define what DLP is, can you tell us a couple of real world examples of you or your team, or somehow in general, that you have seen that DLP or DLP team has significantly reduced the risk by protecting the data going out?
Yes, Praneeth, I can give you some couple of examples where my team or we standardized something like this and where we enhanced the risk strategy of this program. So in one of the case, a user was actually taking data, okay, and it was more than 100 files. It was crossing the limit of where the user could take number of files per that hour, and then it was happening in a different time zone. So usually our login hours are usually 9 to 6, or it will be 10 to 7, or during that hours, right?
Yeah.
So the user logged in at a different time,
Okay.
different time level, time zone, and he was transferring larger file data, and then the content of the file seemed not regular activity. It was having ground gel data, it was having all those data which was very, very critical. Now here there are three patterns. One, time difference. Second, lots of data and the content of the data. Another important factor is where is he transferring. He was doing this transaction to a particular destination where it was not the regular pattern that we observe. So all these correlated to a risk behavior where it went on a high scale. Now we tried and investigated what could be the cause for this.
Okay.
Then after investigating thoroughly, we identified that the user was leaving the company soon.
Oh.
That means the user during his notice period was actually trying to take the data which is belonging to the organization and wanted to utilize it at a competitor's organization. So if you see the pattern here, so he was actually calm during his regular session and he is leaving. That means it could be a disgruntled employee, or that employee could have some intentions of putting the organization's data at risk by taking all these data and utilizing it somewhere. He could send that to dark web, he could give it to a competitor and take advantage. There could be a number of examples. So this case, because we built robust controls, we built policies in such a way that it will immediately let you know that this is what is happening when the activities seemed suspicious, because we configured all these risk rules and policies in the right way, we were able to detect this. Otherwise it is lost.
Correct.
So you have to be thoroughly vigilant enough to understand what's happening with the data in the organization, define the criticality or the parameters of what that data could be, and then After all this, you'll also have to thoroughly monitor and then investigate. It is not that you just identified and have your rules in place. You have to triage that. If you are doing the same triage part little later, by the time the employee would have left already.
Correct.
So it means all the levels of people, process, tech should work hand in hand.
Wow, that's a nice example that you have given, Kalyani. So now with this, I believe audience have now good understanding or context as to what DLP or what DLP team does. So now
I can give you another example,
okay.
right? This is not all the time same scenario.
Hmm.
So we have a similar use case where employee again is taking lots of data, but to his personal destination. Again, and it wasn't a regular time period. But we have the rules in place, we have the configurations in place, and we got an alert or an incident. Then we went into investigation and understood that the user had a deadline. So he was not able to complete that work, and there was some issues that it was blocking his transactions. So he sent the data to work on his personal laptop, and the VPN issues or something, and he was actually traveling. He has some tight deadlines where he has to deliver the work. So when we got to understand by investigating, we understood that it was a part of his regular job. So that was a lesson learned for us. So we understood not every block is actually important. Sometimes we have to little loosen the screw for the business to continue, because we cannot be interrupting the business or interrupting the business all the time. It should work hand in hand.
Yeah.
Understanding the risk factors and the risk behavior usage, also enabling the business to continue its functionalities.
Yeah. So, I totally agree with you, Kalyani. I think this would definitely give the audience a context as to what DLP is about. So can you now define the textbook terms, or what is DLP in textbook terms, and how significant it is for an organization?
See, I would not like to give you a textbook term, because if you ask ChatGPT or any tool, it will give you terms. I would like to explain in layman terms.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will give it a touch of my way. Consider a cricket match or anything.
Yeah.
You see the referee, right? He is watching everything.
Correct.
Where the bowler is bowling, is he taking from the line, or is it from the left side? Is it a no ball? Is it a white ball? Everything he watches. But he blows a whistle when there are limits that are crossed.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you're showing a red card all the time, like in any other game. He thoroughly watches everything and stops the show whenever the limits are off stage. So the same case with DLP as well. So we monitor all the activities, we understand the patterns, regular things, scenarios, business functionalities, risks, data, everything, and then blow whistle whenever there is an activity of an incident.
Okay, you're talking
That's
about
how,
an
data.
activity or an incident. So what is that activity? So what I'm trying to ask is that what are the different ways of data that can be exfiltrated by an employee or any other guy?
So if you ask me for the ways how a user can exfiltrate data, it could be many ways, especially with the new technologies and terms that are so sophisticated that they just come in and walk away with data which they want. It could be with USB sticks. It could be with Bluetooth through the mobile. It could be having some cloud registered on their native cloud space. They could do that there as well. It could be some destinations, public destinations where, like PlayStation, if you want to send, they just send it in that same way. It could be in some other ways, web uploads where you're uploading. It could be SFTPs where we don't know which particular application that it could be. So there are n number of ways or egress methods where people try to exfiltrate data.
Okay, so now I just want to send a photo of mine to my Google Drive or using a USB. So would that still be blocked, or is it allowed?
So it depends on the organization to organization. So if you are taking sectors like banks, for them everything will be restricted.
Yeah.
Because for banking industry, the things or these kind of things are very, very restricted.
Yeah.
Because they deal with a lot of financial data. Correct. And for them the reputation is the biggest thing. So for them the first priority would be blocking. But if you take a different industry, consider like semiconductor or automobile industry, for them they invest more in R&D. Okay, that means they open all the channels where they have accessibility or feasibility to multiple different domains. There it is little different, so they don't block things, but however the policies or rules are configured in such a way that the end team will get a notification or alert. And if you take the same thing in other areas like pharma industries, again it depends on the data. If the content of the data is really a crown jewel data, then we block it. If it is normal play slip or any other thing, then it is allowed. So it all depends on the industry patterns and the configurations that will be decided based on the organization or functionality that they work on.
Okay. So as an employee, I only have to be worried when I'm trying to exfiltrate confidential or intellectual property of an organization. Everything else, if it's my own thing, then then absolutely fine. Absolutely. But you guys still monitor it.
Absolutely. Correct. Not everything we could monitor. There is possibility, but if you wanted to do such way, then our data protection queue will be flooded with so many alerts and incidents. So we have clear defined rules, configurations in place. Only the activities that are passing a limit, then only we get it.
Cool. You're talking about rules and configurations. How do you guys configure those rules? So, or where do you how do you classify, or what are the different stages in DLP?
So basically, to start everything, you have to understand what the organization is working on. Understand what business the organization is dealing with. When we start to develop this particular kind of a program holistically, first there are few techniques and ways. First, you have to classify the data. So whatever the document you're working on, you have to classify accordingly. Is it sensitive, highly sensitive, or is it just public information, or is it a kind of a brochure where it can go, or it is a normal Word document where it is running between two teams. So basically, there are tools also which are available to classify data. If as a person you are not as an individual you are not labeling it, then there are
the
tools
tool would
also automatically label depending upon the configuration. So initially, the classification of data is important. Once you understand certain data is sensitive, certain data is not sensitive, certain data is public, then after working with business, trying to understand what they wanted to take a risk on, they're okay to send public data out, but they're not okay to send crown jewel data out.
Correct.
So we work with business, understanding what exactly they want to do with the data available in the organization. So after those conversations are done, we sit with the our implementation department, where we also develop some kind of configurations within the tools. Again, these are done on different tools. It's not just a simple program run as such. So for cyber or all these DLP programs, there are a number of tools available today in the market. So we take some license according to enterprise level, and then they only give tools, but configurations that we want to do are custom deployed.
Correct.
So we understand the business from our lens point of view, then the vendor, right? So we define our policies, configurations, and once the configurations are done, we test it. It is not that you just deploy it so that it will get lost. Not like that. So once you are done deploying it or doing it, after taking all the configurations, we test thoroughly for 2-3 weeks as to understand what data is moving. Do we really need that data to be monitored or triaged by the triage team? Everything is not sensitive, right? Then we again, do a UAT test for it. If there are any deviations or if it is giving us too much of volume, we fine tune it. Again, what is fine tuning? You see patterns, you see irregularities, and you understand from the data that, okay, this is not giving me any meaningful results. I want more stricter controls. I want more robust features so that it will identify the right things and give me an alert. So we fine tune that, and then after that is done, we again do a recon analysis for 1 week and then do it in production deployment. So it's like a complete program concept that we do, and then push it to the entire org.
Nice. So what I understand is that you guys bringing the tool or the product, you, based on the industry or based on the business, you understand the risk or the kind of data that you need to protect. So based on that, you design and implement those rules, and then once it's done, then you guys monitor for any irregularities or something that is deviating from what it should be.
Correct.
Cool. So I'll ask this question. Now imagine I am the insider risk. I am the disgruntled employee. I'm leaving the organization and I want to clearly exfiltrate IP, intellectual property of my organization. For example, I don't do it. I'm just joking, but yeah. So cool. I've tried.
Okay.
I've tried exfiltrating it.
Okay.
And then it blocked, for example. So you guys pitched in. So how does your investigation begin?
So basically, when you're taking it, you are doing it. You are involving yourself into kind of a exfiltration, and we are doing it. First of all, you will not know what we are doing. You will not know whether we are watching you or whether we are watching some activity, full activity. You will not have any information of what we are doing at the back end on the system without your intention. So you will not know what's happening in your system because this is all run in the background. So for example, I can go deep, but I'm not sure.
It's fine. Yeah.
So we have few techniques where we will understand the user behavior. First of all, whether he's actually trying to exfiltrate or there is some kind of an intention behind the user. So we get to know with the tools and policy configurations that we do. And once it reaches excuse me.
Drink water, it's fine. Get stopped. Also continue saying cut chesi, I'll continue from there. You can continue.
So
షిఫ్ట్ చేయి పర్లేదు. ఇది అయిపోయి దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ లెట్ ఇట్ ఫినిష్, మధ్యలో ఉన్నాం కదా. నేను ఒక డిస్గ్రంటెడ్ ఎంప్లాయీ, నేనే డేటా ఎక్స్ఫిల్ట్రేట్ చేస్తున్నాను నేను. సో దాన్ని మీరు ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్లో యూ ఐడెంటిఫైడ్, మీరు వాచ్ చేస్తున్నారు కానీ బ్యాక్ ఎండ్లో నాకు తెలియదు వాచ్ చేస్తున్నారు. Or if you want to tell it from the beginning also, it's fine. I can cut it. I can start from there.
Okay. So basically, Praneeth, for your question, so we from the other side of this lens work on that particular kind of a watch, and you working on the front of the system doing the exfiltration activity will think normally and then exfiltrate, but you do not know what's happening beside you or behind you.
Correct.
All these are run behind the systems where the employee will not have any understanding that this is happening, somebody is watching me. They will not have this clear idea. Some people might have, but still think that it's okay because I'm not doing big thing. But still it's an exfiltration. It's a work that you are not supposed to do it.
Correct.
If it is not for business purpose. So what we do is, if we suppose we identified that you did some suspicious activity, you intentionally did some activity, you will be notified in the last by some other department but not by us. So all this in this program, it is not just we functioning from a data protection point of view. The other teams could include investigations department, it could be HR, ER, and it could be the corporate security as well. Depends on the case and the severity of the data that you are taking. So if the data is very sensitive, you will be notified by the HR, and if it is for business functionality, probably you will be asked, take some additional company courses where you will be given some exposure to understand what's right, what's not right, where you can draw a line for yourself, and next time you will not be repeating that mistake. But if it is intentional by you and you are taking this for a competitor, or if you are wanting to put it in the dark web or report for privacy and all, there are departments who run behind the show, behind our this thing, and I think sometimes there are cases where the person was also put behind bars. So it is important for a company to protect their sensitivity because it's not just for them, right? It could be great advantage if they are getting their data exposed to competitors. The competitors might take advantage. So for example, in an industry, they do lot of R&D. It might take them years and years of time for them to do the research and bring a product out.
Correct.
And as a disgruntled employee, if you are giving that out, all the years of hard work is done, wasted, right?
Correct.
So here, when you are doing such kind of activities, there could be involvement of legal people also.
Yeah.
Could be, the lawyers, regular lawyers. You would be, asked to, and make you explain, like why did you do it. So basically, before going there is an investigation stage that happens. So like this, how me and you are sitting. So the investigation departments take you into investigation and ask you, like, what's your intention, why did this happen, and all this kind of. It could depend on organization to organization, but typically you will be asked to make us understand why did you do this and all. Depending on the criticality also, again another department from there might go to legal, and then from there it could go to different courts, depending on the region also. Like in US, there might be some lawyers, legal cases that could be involved, and there could be a lot of penalties that could be imposed on you or all the organizations also. So based on the severity and the content and the intention, the severity or the case level increases.
Wow. So you guys sound like the true police.
But with data only.
But with data. Yeah, so if anybody would want to join cybersecurity, you can hear from Kalyani how fun and exciting and I mean, you can't be actual police, but I mean, you could be the one watching behind the scene what's happening, what some disgruntled employee is doing. So it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I could add one more component, like you will not get so bored very often because every case is interesting. Sometimes it could be, of course, the activity of what an employee do or what we do on a regular basis is same, but still when you get into the investigation to understand why the user did this, what motive did he had, is it something really related as part of business or he wants to take it and all this. If you are investigating that scenario, it will be very interesting and you will not get bored of it.
It sounds like a true investigation kind of a series, movie kind of. But yeah, so moving on, you talked about tools that does a job for you, gives you the irregularity, something that is not common. So what kind of tools are you talking about? So what is the tool that are there in the market or the industry leader tools currently in the market?
So it's not just one tool that's there for this data protection. So industry leading is actually, there are multiple...
Okay.
It's
fine, you can continue.
There are many tools in the market. It's not just one particular tool that gives the DLP protection. There are Microsoft tools, there are different tools like ForcePoint, Symantec, Proofpoint. Then we have other SIM tools also. DLP is not just one particular subject. It's a combination of both behavior things and log data, especially attached with identification logs. So if you pair a proper DLP tool with a SIM tool, that's the best it can give you. The advantage these tools will give you is the super, because you have the actual evidence plus the log data. It will give you more, kind of a real time-to-time analysis. For example, if you are investigating kind of a real-world example.
Correct.
Like 9 o'clock, 1 minute,
this has happened. This has happened. Oh
9 o'clock, 2 minutes, this has happened. Like that.
This sounds like police investigation, like forensic teams coming, the law department coming and all. Wow, just to prove that this guy intentionally has done something wrong and all. And then.
Because in insider risk or data protection, we will go with facts and evidences.
True.
So we don't just blame an employee that you have done this. We will take all the facts, evidences, and prove this.
Yeah.
So you say the employee might come back and say, no, you're just pointing fingers on me. I did not do anything. But I have all the log source recorded. What did you do? Where did you go get this? From here, where did you transfer it? All those stuff. So we go on factual basis with evidences.
Cool. We'll go back a bit. You started your career in 2015. It's almost 10 years already now. We are entering 2026.
Right.
You talked about how DLP looked like in the beginning. and how it is right now. Can you talk about the journey? How did it evolve? What different features that are added?
Right.
And what do you think about how it will evolve in the future? Any thoughts on it?
Yes, so maybe I will just consider from my point of view the things where I have seen from start. When I started, I just saw it from a monitoring lens. What's coming in, what's going on. As I grew, then I understood like why is it coming? What did we do some configuration behind? Is it something with some rules or policies, or is it a tool, or what it? So I went into the other side of the phase where I did some administrative certifications. Then before doing that also I had little hands-on experience as to how to configure it, how to write a rule, then how does it work. So for a what do you call particular kind of a tool configuration to work on, do you really need to have an agent deployed, or how does it talk to each systems? Those kind of admin level thought process also I have developed. So that means I understood from the other side of the angle, not just the front view.
Okay.
So like how do you communicate? How does the systems communicate? Like
Correct.
if you are doing something in a system, how am I able to see it?
Yeah.
That kind of
back-end work
back-end
also
work
you have worked on. Okay.
I have worked on. I mean, I understood. Initially, when I started, I didn't know all this. But then I understood, okay, to get an alert, what is the thing that you have to do in the background? So I went into that phase, understanding the root cause for it. So that's when my interest grew, okay, to identify how do you actually get the things, right detections or right patterns in place. Then after that, I started little with a kind of a investigation side. So you configured, then you saw the alert. What happens next? That is where I understood that okay, there are multiple departments involved in it. It's not just one single team that works on doing it. You give it to other department where they investigate. You typically ask the employee or the user who exfiltrated, set him like this, and ask him to prove. And what types of implications that happens once this exfiltration is done. Then after that, I understood the whole landscape. I mean, not just with the experience, I also saw some kind of, I had some mentors in my space or area where, particularly from the mentor, what I understood or heard is, I understood the complete landscape of this particular ecosystem. Then it got me more interest. So that's when I thought, okay, this is one particular space where you can actually focus, not just swim but also dive, and you get more expertise once you do more research and all. So if you ask me, cyber is not just one term. There is big beneath down if you actually evolve on your space. There are a number of different dimensions, a number of departments, a number of things. But very, very interesting when you actually take a skill and deep dive in one particular skill. So that's one thing. And the second question which you asked me was,
how do you see DLP evolving in the future?
Yeah. So initially when we started with DLP, it was a simple rule configuration we used to detect. Then the patterns evolved, right? Every user had developed similar different patterns, similar different ways, like how we have threats and malwares where just penetrate, stay there for some time, and then take the actual data.
Exfiltrate.
But at the end of the day, they are doing the exfiltration. But here on the DLP side, you have the exfiltration at the first place. So here, people also actually users wait for a certain time period. So then it's not just the actual DLP, but it is insider threat. So insiders who have access to all the data are actually taking, and it is in a different styles, different variations. So we developed, or the tools came up with n number of custom, n number of rules, and we custom developed ourselves according to organization.
Okay, your own rules based on business.
To understand the patterns, behaviors, and all those things. And interestingly, as we evolve, we also did a lot of machine learning analysis as well.
Okay.
So you understand patterns, right? For every pattern is different, right? But you wanted to define some uniqueness, understand where actually the exfiltration is happening, because the funnel that we are trying to see, there is huge data. With ML algorithms or ML developed policy configurations, we were actually able to accurately identify the risky pattern behaviors with the ML algorithms as well.
Okay.
And now with AI involvement, AI phase, we also have developed a lot of AI policies. AI
That's
things.
what I actually wanted to ask, because no interview or podcast goes without asking about AI. So yeah, I'll ask the question that you were answering. But yeah, so are there policies like would you guys also monitor the data that you're uploading to AI?
Yes, Fred. So now people have become so
Correct.
AI. So
I want the work to be done faster. I can't
faster,
wait. Yeah.
and they tend to put content everywhere. It's like uploading on some ChatGPT, uploading on some AI where you want, but they're not thinking that they're putting a lot of sensitive organization
Correct.
data on those platforms. And what AI does, it learns with
Correct.
that information that you're providing. So we did a lot of configurations where sometimes we tend to block, but sometimes we also help users aware. Because if you're not making the users aware, they
Correct.
will not know what's happening. So we give them notifications saying that this is what is happening if you're posting there, beware of it, or don't post sensitive content. All these kind of pop-up notifications we also give. And from the security point of view, we have developed robust controls, which is called DSPM for AI and all those things, which is data security posture management with AI things. Even though some of the AI apps we block, but still people need AI for their daily usage. So there are some certain limitations that are allowed while some are blocked.
Wow. Cool. So Kalyani, we are in the age of AI. Everywhere we see AI, AI, AI.
Right.
So how or in what ways can AI help or is already doing in the space of DLP?
Yes, Fred. So with AI, actually, a lot of help is happening. Of course, AI is sometimes giving you some errors, but it's actually advantage in many of the sectors or industries, and especially in our cyberspace also. So basically, in our DLP, there are different stages of a triage mechanisms or a function that we follow. The first stage is actually possible with AI, which we are also thoroughly developing at a rapid scale to enable this functionality also, where we are leveraging AI to do the tier 1 analysis, BP, not just BDLP, even in SOC. So the tier 1 analysis is actually possible with AI. So you can write the scripts or give it a prompt, develop all these things, and at some stage you can actually cut down on the tier 1 this thing, and you can actually focus on deeper investigations once this AI is actually
So the L1 analysis can be done by the AI
Yep.
and it can give you much more better data, is
Yes.
what you're saying.
Yes. So we actually are cutting down on the time of efforts that we need on the first level of analysis or first job, and you are actually getting more time to investigate deeper insights. So that's where we are utilizing AI, at least for now, where the L1 or tier 1 can be done by AI.
Okay. 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 So I ask this question to whomever I interview. So I'm asking this to you as well. So how do you get into cybersecurity field currently? Like if I'm a fresher or if I have 1 year experience, or like I want to enter into this field because I'm into non-IT. I want to enter into this cybersecurity field.
So,
What learnings or resources or anything that you want to suggest?
So basically, if you want to get into the cyber industry, I will say pick one skill, one particular domain. So in cyber, as you know, there are a number of domains, especially 8 if you calculate. Do not focus on everything. You understand at least on the initial level what each domain does, and then you can develop deeper, more insights if you actually take one. But if you are taking all 10 different things at one place, then you might not be master of all the skills, but you can be it at a certain age or experience as you go in. But I will advise that take one domain, have more understanding of that particular domain, understand what the domain does, and then once you have your fundamentals strong. So the tools come and go, right? The process changes every time, right? So if your fundamentals are strong enough, be it be any tool tomorrow, today it might be a tool, tomorrow it is different tool, but the level of work is same, right?
The concept always
you should
remains
understand
the
the
same.
concept, yes. So develop your fundamental knowledge on the domain and then focus on that. That will take you to the next level. Yeah.
Cool. So any misconception about the DLP or DLP team, anything that you want to burst out? like, no, this is not true, what you think of DLP, kind of anything?
Yes. So
Any
initially,
myths about DLP?
it could not be myth, but I just wanted to give this perception which I've been hearing since long. So everybody thinks that DLP is a blocking tool.
Correct.
No, DLP is not a blocking tool. It is actually enabling the business to focus on what really it requires. You see the patterns, you understand the patterns, you understand the regularities of where data is moving, you understand different ways where your data is residing, you discover it, then you implement it, you understand where your crown jewel and critical data is sitting, and then you help your business to function by enabling it to take the right path, right way. Yes, DLP blocks it, but only
If you do something
if you
wrong,
do something
obviously.
wrong. If
Yeah,
you're not doing something wrong, we will not even
Correct.
interfere in your job. So
Correct.
don't think that DLP is just a blocking tool. No, it's actually enabling the business function to function in a right way.
Correct. So it's like the third umpire or referee in cricket match, making sure everybody is following the right rules.
Exactly.
Nobody is getting additional advantage.
Yeah, and we also help the users get trained. Suppose if the user is doing something wrong, or if
Correct.
he's trying to upload somewhere, then we give them some kind of notification.
Correct.
Yeah, buzzer. No, boss, you should not do this, or this is the right way. So we actually help the users to follow the right directions as well.
Cool. I think I'm good with technical questions or discussions. I mean, I've learned a lot. I'm sure the audience would have understood and learned the world of DLP. So I'll move on to some fun personal questions as well. So, how are you so cool, Kalyani, all this time? Every time I say you're all chill, relaxed.
I don't know. I mean, there's no straight answer like why I'm cool. It all depends like how your day is running and.
Correct. So you also have some hard times. Rarely.
Rarely, because I have all
At work.
at work. Okay, so I organize things in such a way that I am not cornered. So for everything, I have steps, procedures, things in place. There are ways like how you can do this also. One, you develop your teammates also in that way. Okay, you are not being at a cornered phase. You have your support. You have your strength system already in place where you can be as a team, work as a team, and if there is any blocker or showstopper, then you can all work together. And the second thing is I try to be authentic as much as possible and transparent with my stakeholders all the time. So if there is any issue or if there is any persistence that is happening, so I openly communicate that to my stakeholders or to my boss in that case, and take that in the right direction, just instead of just keeping things on my head and getting worried.
Okay.
And this all comes with the nature maybe. I mean, I don't show so much of what do you call, kind of keeping things on the head and getting worried, so I push everything out.
What do you like? Being an individual contributor or a manager?
So
Slightly controversial question, but yeah.
So it's like, instead of answering your question that way, I would like to be a team member and a team player, leading the team from the front end.
Okay. Nice. Chala, I mean, you're playing it very well.
Now good at question and answer like
Cool. Any other things that I want to ask? I think I've covered everything. One more question I want to ask. Cool. So, I know Kalyani, I mean, you're a mother of 2 kids. So how do you maintain the work-life balance? How do you give time to your kids and also at work? How do you manage it very well?
Oh, it's a mix of.
What time do you wake up in the morning?
Typically, I start my day around 6. And then, once I wake up, I actually stay in calm at least for 5-10 minutes and then start getting up and switch my gates to the second gear, waking up the kids and doing all my chores and all those things. But it's not just me who is doing this. You will definitely need to have the support system strong, especially with my
Husband.
no, with my kids running the system and showing up all the time. So basically your support system, which means the family, including your husband, your family members, should be actually strong enough. So in my family way. So my husband is the backbone or the support. So we actually share our workload and have all the things planned very well. Like tomorrow, if there is something, we think about it today and try to cover that for that way. If there are many misses, we cover that. But usually we try to make it in time or prepared for it. That's how we are sharing our responsibilities. And for a woman, it is very, very important to have your support system helping you. So I will also advise the younger generation or the younger woman who is coming into the industry to have their career bright. So make sure that if you are not able to take complete work, give it to your other people. So for example, if you're not able to manage the household, then take a maid's help or take some help in cooking or ask your family members to contribute it, because if you take everything on your head, you will not be able to deliver it 100%. So that's when, if you wanted to focus more on certain topics, say certain A, then B you have to shift it to somewhere or someone. Then you can actually thrive to get your step little more ahead.
Okay. So, I mean, are there any support, or do you receive support at work also? Like, are there any networking communities at work for women to cope up with work and life and everything?
Yes, in many of the organizations we have women employee support, which is called DWF. So we do have support from the organization, and these days, to my surprise, or I see the trend that male allyship is also being highly praised of. So these days, I observe a lot of men adhering or giving more support to female employees to contribute more. So I think in the past, maybe that support did not work, or maybe the support was little lesser. I would not say they did not support, maybe it was little lesser, but today the world has changed. In family, both male and female persons are working. So coming from the family root system itself, the men are understanding the responsibilities of women and also trying to advise or help or support women in the organization also. It could be your boss, it could be your male colleague, but you get to see these supports these days more often comparatively.
So we'll do the rapid fire, Kalyani. So first question: USB blocking or not blocking?
Definitely blocking.
Okay. So do you like a vegetarian or non-vegetarian?
I am purely non-vegetarian.
Do you like going to movies in theaters or watching it on OTT?
OTT, relax, chill, calm.
Okay. Are you a Netflix person or an Amazon Prime? What do you like the most?
Any
Or the
OTT.
YouTube?
Any OTT.
Any OTT.
Yeah.
Do you like watching YouTube?
Not
Sometimes.
really now, because my kids are on that Coco Melon, Vlad and Nikki, so I'm hating YouTube for now.
Okay. So do you like reading books or surfing web?
Oh, definitely not a bookworm. I like surfing the web pages. I get some of my news on the LinkedIn or some web pages like Hacker News and all those things. So
Okay.
not a bookworm at all.
Okay. So with this, I would like to wrap up the rapid fire as well. So a big thank you to Kalyani for accepting my invite and being here as a guest and sharing the valuable information on DLP. I'm sure the audience would have learned a lot of things on a lot of myths might have been also been burst. Might have learned a lot of things and would love to join DLP sometime. I'm not sure, maybe. So I would also put Kalyani's LinkedIn profile in the about section of YouTube, so that you can reach out to her and ask more questions if you have any. So thank you all. I hope you have a good day. Thank you again, Kalyani, for being here and sharing the valuable information with us.
Thanks, Praneeth. Thanks for hosting me today. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And I didn't feel like a podcast, but just a normal conversation which we had, chill time.
Yeah.
So thanks for again having me here and opening up all the pages and where we were able to unleash and discuss a lot of things.
Hope we'll meet again. Hope we'll do an in-depth session again of DLP and much more things in coming podcast sometime soon.
Oh, definitely. I would be lovely doing that.
Yeah. So I'd like to wrap up here, and also please excuse me for my voice because I'm still recording from cold. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thanks everybody. Thanks Praneeth once again. Thanks for hosting me.